Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Wolfie and Decadence here, and welcome to an unusual episode of Pillages the Villages. I'm referring to this as the After Death episodes, specifically the After Death Dragon Killer. We'll go into that in a second. So, of course, you can tell this is sped up footage. What we've decided is I am going to bow to Creek's victory. Because, let's face it, if I start again, I'm really simply trying to stay alive and hope that Creek dies, and that's not cool. So we're going to say Creek definitely won this season. Good on him. And we decided between the two of us that we are going to go ahead and focus the last half, or less than half technically, the last third of Pillages the Villages, on just trying to get to the dragon and killing him off. No competition, just to see if we can do it just for fun. Now, the reason I'm doing this in double speed is because, well, to be perfectly honest, I didn't have a save from episode 6. So when I died in episode 7, and I usually do try to keep a save after I record, but I forgot to do it, I needed to recover day 6. So I just recorded 6 and 7 again, and that's what these episodes are. And I thought I would just go ahead and do a voiceover. I'll hopefully have some kind of awesome Kevin MacLeod music playing in the background because, well, that guy is awesome. Here I'm lighting trees on fire just because. Figured why not. My game plan, though, should be to pop into the nether and get enough blaze rods to get enough blaze powder to cover our, Eyes of Ender. And so I'm going to go ahead and head on down. Boop, boop, boop. Now, I'm not sure how well I'm going to sync this because there's probably going to be a second or two delay. Hopefully not too much. I should have done some kind of marker at the beginning because I knew I was going to do this, but I didn't think of it at the time. It's next week. So this is 6 and 7, so I'll still be behind Creek's episodes. So it'll be episode 8 this Friday. And so what I'm going to do is and I grabbed that, if you're wondering why I grabbed that netherrack, it's to complete my pillar up to the surface in all netherrack, which I can't remember if I did, but I think I did. Second guessing myself now, but it doesn't matter. So I wanted to catch up to Creek, so what I'm going to do, I got withered there, oops. And then I decided not to waste the arrow, because I only have 9. I ended up running into a whole ton of nether skeletons in this run, which is just kind of crazy. I do surprisingly well at avoiding getting burned. I do get burned a couple times, but it's a pretty gosh darn good job of getting it done. No audio on this. The editing program, oh boy, yeah, almost fell to my death there. The editing program I use, if you do double time, doesn't put the audio in, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not really going to be too upset about it, because although it's kind of fun to listen to things in double speed. So back to the story. When Creek does his 8, this is going to be 6 and 7, so next week I will do 8 and 9 to catch me up, and then I'll do normal episodes again for the last ones. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Enderman killing. I haven't, not sure how many eyes are going to be in, and of course I looked down the pit to where I had fallen and saved myself, only to die again last episode. That was a lucky find, though, to grab that ledge. Complete luck. Really was quite good. And here I'm just going to look around and try to figure out where to go. And then I see that path off to the edge, so I'm going to head that direction. And I ended up busting a ton of holes into this nether fortress. It's kind of silly. And I put away my sword, because, who needs a sword in the nether when you're hunting, blazes. I ended up checking that bloody chest about 1,000,000 times. I do get, I think, withered one more time this episode, but I don't remember where. And of course, obviously, it's going to be pretty jerky me looking around all the time. So sorry about that. If anyone gets motion sickness, it's not so good that way. I don't know if you noticed that, but there was like 4 wither skeletons, 3 all together, and then 1 off to the side. It was like a ridiculous number of wither skeletons. Although I never did get a skull on the ones I killed. Which is okay too, because I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to spawn the wither? What are the chances of me getting enough skulls in that time period? Pretty low. I do remember the one season where I did fight the wither, which the last one I did that one was my Desert Sands single player, which was my single biome survival series, which someday I hope to go back to when I get some free time. I don't know when I'll end up having free time to do that sort of thing again, but yeah, someday. It took, even with looting 3 on my sword, it took forever to get enough skulls. I think it took about 2 hours of solid grinding. Well, maybe 2.5. It was a lot. And of course, I've got myself all turned around. It's pretty bad. I get myself turned around pretty easily around anywhere. I get lost pretty easy in this game, unless I do proper markers. And I'm not proper marking this at all. And of course, there's a million blazes over there, so I gotta take it kind of easy. Oops, there, see I got burnt there. I just rushed the guy, running past all those other blazes. Oh, there I got hit again. But get a chance to set off to the side here. Blazes, now that they fire at walls, not quite as dangerous as they used to be. I don't know, I don't remember them always firing at walls. I used to think they used to wait for you. And I think they nerfed them a little bit, which I'm not complaining. They were pretty dangerous. Of course, I guess it is the Nether, and it's kind of supposed to be dangerous. And I mean, obviously, it was the death of me on 2 different Pillages the Villages. Okay, one was there. See, there's the second withering. I guess technically the first time was my fault for not lighting up the portal and allowing a creeper to be on the wrong side of the portal. That was pretty bad. This time, yeah, luck of the draw. Things did not work well. I do end up getting Return to Sender, which of course doesn't count for points anymore, so there won't be any point score at the end. Now here I have 9, and I don't need 9 because it makes 18. 18 blaze powders. I was trying to remember what I was doing there. I was trying to find my way back. That's what it was. And yes, I got turned around. So I ended up wandering for quite a bit this episode. Now when I forgot I got withered again. Withered all over the place. Got myself some tea today. I'm drinking just a exciting tea. I'm drinking a Lipton's tea here, the pyramid bag style, which I don't mind those ones. In this case, it is a peach infused white tea. It's quite good. I feel like white teas. There you go. Return to sender. Woohoo! And didn't do me any good, but woohoo! Yeah, I like it. It's a nice, relaxing tea. Filming this later in night, just before I go to bed type idea. I'm going to render this and then head to bed. Hopefully it won't take too long. Obviously I've already rendered this in twice speed, and I'm just doing the Audacity recording on my other screen. I'm pretty happy with my 2-screen setup. It was very cheap for me because I ended up finding a second monitor at a yard sale for $10, and it's got a slight scratch in the one corner, but when I did use the netherrack, and yeah, I start just throwing things away. It's like, well, there's no point in having this in my inventory. We're not sticking around. Yeah, so I ended up, there's a little scratch in the one corner, but you don't really notice it, and for $10, it was great. It's not the same resolution as my other one, so it doesn't do perfect. You can't do like nice, perfect, double screen backgrounds or anything like that, but it's kind of nice to have too, so you can kind of keep an eye on things like this, because I'm playing the video in full screen on one side and the audio recording in the other. Well, hopefully it's recording loud enough. It looks like it is. Right now I'm looking for Enderman, of course, because I have definitely enough blaze powder, without a doubt. I mean, the most you could have missing is 12, so 18 is kind of overkill. But yeah, I'm just wandering around looking for any possible Enderman. I don't have any luck. Enderman can be hard to find, because they move around so fast with their little teleportation trick. And again, they changed them. In the old days, you could look at them from anywhere, and they would notice you, and they would come for you. Now, they don't really notice you like they used to. You have to either be... I think you have to be on the same level, or pretty close to the same level as them. If you're too high or too low from them, they don't seem to notice that you're looking at them. Which kind of makes them a little less scary, to be honest. They used to be pretty frightening, especially their noise. They make that great noise. The audio on that is fantastic. And so I can't remember what I'm going back for. I think I was double checking to make sure I didn't have any pearls. Oh, right, the food, because I knew I was going to need it if I'm going to head off. I'm probably not coming back. And so, of course, I drop a chest and get rid of some stuff, because, stuff I don't need. I still think I end up taking stuff I really don't need, but, what else is new? You always end up doing that, right? So... Now here, if you're wondering what that big gap there was, I was sitting there thinking, I need to look to see where, because I had just watched Creek's video, and I knew he had revealed his coordinates about where he had figured the stronghold was. So I'm like, well, I might as well start there as well, since it's not a competition. I don't feel like it's cheating, and we'll head out that way. I grabbed some extra food, because I figured, again, not coming back. Gonna still maintain the rules that we have. So we obviously had a crafting bench and all that stuff's not going to be allowed to take with us. And so yeah, I decided that I was going to follow the rules and drop the stuff off I don't need and prep up. And I got the video pause on my... Technically, when I was doing this, I had the video pause on my tablet. I have a little Nexus 7. It does me the trick quite well. It's a nice little tablet. So... it's kind of my media device. I like to play music on it or read books and stuff like that. But my phone is more my utilitarian. It's my home phone. And don't do too much gaming-wise or anything on it. And of course, I got my coordinates up to figure out which way I go. Obviously, I had a little bit of problem figuring out which way to head. But I figured it out, and I start heading off. The jungles are just... I totally didn't think about it when we were looking at these seeds. These jungles are terrible for frame rates. They just create terrible lag. Not that my frames are bad. They stay pretty consistently at 40 frames per second, which is fine. I got no problem with that. It's just... you end up getting a bit of lag, and that's definitely not so good. Especially in the nether and whatnot. Sorry about the slurping. It's kind of rude. Is this where I see the ocelot? I do run into an ocelot in here somewhere. I just can't remember where. I do like jungles. One of my very first survival worlds that I played before recording or anything like that, just for me, just for fun. Never dreamed about recording it and putting it on YouTube or anything. Was when jungles had just been added, and I was on the edge of one. It was a beautiful little thing. Had ocelots. Ended up getting a cat and everything like that. And it was a lot of fun, that one. I was building weird bridges out over oceans and stuff like that. The things you do that really has no purpose. Of course, that being said, I mean, if you did end up watching, here I keep falling and getting hurt. And I can't figure out why, because it's not that big of a fall. And I keep looking back like, why am I getting hurt? So I don't know if that was a system glitch or it was just high enough, or if the vines count it as like a half block higher, or who knows. But I was taking a heart of damage there, and I just couldn't figure out why. But yeah, so if you watched my Desert Sands single biome... oh yeah, this is cool. Look at this pit right here. I'm like, what is this? This is perfect square. I thought it was like maybe a incomplete spawning area. Like, maybe this was supposed to be a dungeon at one point, and just things didn't happen. And I come down here and I'm like, well, maybe this leads into... Because oftentimes the strongholds will run into caves. Maybe this runs into the cave, and I hit F2 instead of the number 2 a few times, which, oops. So I just head around, take a look around. Oh, it's dead end, so I head down here, and I check this out. Now, obviously down here, this is also going to be a dead end. Oh, I spoiled it. I shouldn't have spoiled it, but it is. I was all prepped up, and bam, dead end. I didn't hear any door breaking. I'm not sure if in 1.8.8 if the strongholds still have... Oh yeah, and I decided to collect a little bit more coal while I was here. If 1.8.8 still has the breaking door sounds with zombies in strongholds, because that's a nice dead giveaway on... See, there's that block lag there. Yeah, such a weird... Just a square. It's kind of cool, though. I had to check it out. I mean, come on. In here, I'm just screwing up my swim job. There should be no problem swimming up that. Especially considering my shattered lands, I had to swim up that waterfall a million times. Yeah, so if you watch back to what I got distracted on. If you watch the Desert Sands survival, I ended up building a ton of stuff that was really just for fun. There was no purpose for it. Made that giant to me, dam that had the skeleton skull for it. And yeah, so I'm in the general right place right now. Eventually I'll hit the F keys, and I'm in the right general area where creek is. And I'm listening this whole time, and you're not really hearing anything. You might be too high up. So I jumped. Yeah, see, I'm almost there. On the Z, it's or Z, depending on where you're from. Obviously, I'm Canadian, so I say Z. On the Z coordinate, it was 1,000 something, 1,088 or something like that. And then on the X, there's the Ocelot. Hey, Ocelot. On the X, it was like 6 something, I think. Can't quite remember, but yeah, I made that giant dam in Desert Sands, and it was a lot of fun. Time-consuming, really time-consuming, especially when you get to fill it with water, because of course it didn't have any water. And that was an interesting series, because I thought if I did a desert-only biome, I thought, oh man, water's going to be scarce, and food's going to be my biggest thing, and I'm probably going to be living on zombie meat. So I had plans on how I was going to end up, going slow. Oh yeah, there's a big pit here. Yeah, nice ravine. Easy way down, but I don't go down and check it out. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. Because you can see I'm a little off from my location there, so keep on moving. Yeah, so where was I? Something about Desert Sands. Oh well, onwards. See, watermelon all over the place in this jungle, which is nice. Squeaky chair. Now we are getting close to where I cut it off, and what I can't figure out is my timing on this. Because this video, I ended up recording for 45 minutes, which should have been more than a day and a night, and I come up, and it's, of course, if you watch the Creeks video, it starts to rain, and that seems to be the same for every instance of this world. On that time period, it will start to rain. From my experience and other things, it seems to be the case. And so I didn't know how close we were to dawn, and I figured, for sakes of this show, I will cut it if I have to record a little long next episode to match up, and that's okay too. So I think it's still night technically when I cut this off. Now what I'm doing here is because I was in the right general area, I thought I would just dig down. Maybe if I was down low enough I could hear it. I could hear the silverfish making their funny little squeechy noises. Not that squeechy is a word, but squeechy noises. I'm not sure I'd spell that. Squeechy noises. The sound of zombies killing doors. I guess, again, you can't really kill doors, but beating them down. And then I realized, yeah, I'm not getting anything. So up I go. Not even hearing cave noises, nothing like that. And up I go, and of course it's just turning night. And yeah, so when I'm almost done, I know I am. It's going to start raining. It started raining out, which is terrible because oops, hit my pop filter. Sorry. Just trying to get up high, and it's just, as Creek pointed out, this is a terrible place to look for Enderman because you just can't see anything. So I decided to head for the mountains. I figure if I can get up on top of mountains, maybe I can see Enderman. Maybe. But of course, if it starts to rain, well, that's a bit of an issue. You know, we all know how Endermen feel about rain. And if you don't, they don't like it. They're not fans. They are like hydrophobic. Only not in the cool, like, spray-on material type way where it, like, causes water to repel, which is super cool. Yes, and so here I'm just looking around trying to see what I can see. And I'm not seeing too much, to be perfectly honest. It's... If it was still a point system, I would be killing all those chickens for the points. But here it's no point in expending the extra energy. Now, killing mobs are useful for allowing other things to spawn in, so therefore the possibility of Enderman. And once again, we're getting some block lag. It's not an unpretty area. It certainly has some nice look to it. Very vertical. Be a pain to build a house in, but it's pretty. I mean, and with the different biomes around here, it'd be easy to get a variety of different woods. And I mean, if you're a big builder, it is nice to have a variety of woods. I'm not a big builder myself, but this is just a pretty funny looking area. And here's where it starts to rain. Of course, it's snow up here where it's past that certain level. And so I was kind of, at first I'm like, well, maybe it'll force them up into the snow. And then I realized I'm not sure if Endermen hate snow as much as they hate rain. And it's probably more likely that they're going to get forced inside to whatever caves happen to be around. So I do go wandering because there was not much else to do. Dodging around these trees, trying not to get killed. Because it wouldn't be so good to get killed now. It'd be kind of pointless. Then I'd have to film this all over again. And that's also not good. Not that I didn't mind. I didn't mind going back to the Nether and, farming the blazes. It went way better this time. This time it went how I wanted it to go the first time. As opposed to falling almost to my death and then being pigmented to death. They do not tap you lightly. They hit hard. And so here I'm just ditching stuff I don't need into the water. And I'm just about over on this. I know it's not much longer now before I cut off the video. I think I get to the top here, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not sure how much longer I got before daylight, so I'm just going to stop right here. Somewhere around here. I know I do it. I just don't remember where, so I don't want to get into a big conversation when I know I'm almost at the end of the video. Guess I could actually bring up the video. Nope. No, it's not letting me do that. What's going on? There we go. So, thank you for joining me. Oh, now it's just going to start again. Stop. Obviously, it was at a good go. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you next Friday with my other sped up voiced over episode. Goodbye.